Sonic the Hedgehog has had many horrific iterations throughout the years, primarily EXEs, ranging from stupid stuff to genuinely scary stuff to stupid scary stuff. But there's one in particular that is, frankly, the most disturbing story I have ever had the displeasurable pleasure of listening to. That is Overthrow. This story has single-handedly become the most disturbing Sonic the Hedgehog creepypasta I have ever read in my entire life. There is no joke. There is no lie. The mere existence of Sonic Alt, and especially combined with the presence of Sally Alt, is very disgusting and very disturbing. And it makes me want to crawl into a ball in the nearest corner and cry. Here's what makes it 10 times worse. I'm a writer, and I'm blind. That means I have a very overactive imagination. Now, you can imagine how terrible this has to be when reading a story that has eyes where eyes should not be, limbs where limbs should not be, flesh being removed, and body parts being replaced with things that are not body parts and should not be replaced there. Sally's design here didn't help. Not at all. I'm not gonna lie, when I got a better idea of what she looked like, oh boy, it was very disgusting. Very disgusting indeed. I envy this man. I don't know what was going through the creator's brain when they developed this story or this character, but man, I thought I was fucked in the head. This story does a lot when it comes to body horror. Like, it's all over the place, and it does it really, really well. Like, there are things that the body is doing that it just should not do. You've got, I don't know how many I remember, but I recall Cream having blades that are just spinning around in place of where her ears should be. I do remember a particular door somewhere in there that was made up of Tails' body, and when he opens his mouth, it's like what opens the door, which is, how do you even pull that off? And it just keeps getting worse and worse from here with different characters showing up. Knuckles shows up later and he's like this enforcer and his body's all morphed up too. Like, he's got mouths where his eyes should be. And originally he doesn't react to it. He's just trying to enforce whatever screwed up version of laws exist in this place. But then something snaps and he starts to realize what's going on, and he's in pain. He's alive and he's feeling everything, and it's just so uncomfortable. What makes this all worse is we're following this through the eyes of a child. Like, this is Mobius Prime Tails, who is wandering about this location, somehow surviving. Credit where credit is due, he is getting a move on, even if Tails is going to be quite traumatized by the end of this. A couple of scenes in particular made sure of this, even if everything else that I just stated already hasn't. There's one in particular that goes into quite a bit of descriptive detail of Tails eating some leftover intestines from someone's body. Very disgusting. Very disgusting indeed. And I haven't even gotten into the most traumatizing part yet for this poor two-tailed fox. There is a reason that Tails is here. Sonic has been kidnapped by Sally Alt. Now, I don't know the exact motive behind this crazy chipmunk, but I have a strange feeling it has something to do with this unfathomable hatred she has towards her own world's blue blur. Needless to say, Tails made it. He found Sally Alt, and he found Sonic. Now, before I go into the details of what Tails saw, I'm just gonna let it be known that I do not want to know what it was that Sally.exe did to Sonic. I don't want to know. Considering the reputation in the history of this crazy bitch's subjects, I don't think it would be in my best interest to know precisely what it was that this blue hedgehog had to go through. It's bad enough that Tails had to witness his closest friends and allies turned into these terrible abominations as he traversed this rotting landscape. That's one thing. It's a whole nother thing when you see someone that you consider to be your aunt wearing the pelt and skin of somebody you consider to be a brother to you. What the fuck? That is a whole nother level of traumatization. You are basically seeing the worst outcome for two family members of yours. That is just wrong. And that is straight psychological horror at its finest. Not only are you leaving some very disturbing body horror, but on top of that, these are characters who are meant to be very, very close to each other, doing some of the most worst acts you can possibly do to one another. I will admit that they did begin to lose me for approximately 5 seconds when Tails proceeded to call Sally.exe a bitch. A big fight happens between Sally.exe and Tails, and eventually it leads to, I believe, Sally.exe getting within some of the technology in Mobius Prime. I believe the story had ended in more of a cliffhanger type of situation, making it unclear if Sally.exe had truly succeeded in her goal of infecting other timelines. This story was a very good read, I'm not gonna lie, and I would highly recommend that you give it a listen any way you can, whether it's through another YouTuber or somewhere else that you find it. It is genuinely enjoyable for any horror lovers. And this has been The Blind Teller, back at it again with more horror content. If you like it, please like and subscribe if you want more. And let me know in the comments below if there's anything in particular you would like to see next. See ya!